I bet you've been there. You're waiting for some program to finish up a long process, and then finally it's done. But all you get is a generic operation completed message.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, but was it really completed successfully? Or were there issues? Were there any warnings? I mean, what are you supposed to do next? You're kind of just left hanging.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, is it done or is it just done with this part? I need more information.
You need those details,
Right.
right? Did everything go smoothly, or are there problems lurking beneath the surface?
Totally. And a lot of software just doesn't give you that clarity.
Well, luckily for us, we have an expert who knows a thing or two about fixing this very problem.
That's right. We've got Dipak here, and he actually tackled this for one of his clients. So Dipak, let's dive into this.
So what was going on with your client's software? What were the users struggling with?
Well, their users were getting really frustrated after these long operations because they couldn't tell what actually happened. They were getting that super vague operation completed message, whether there were errors or not, whether there were warnings or not. It was the same message every time.
So basically, they had no clue if they could move on to the next step or if they needed to investigate further.
Exactly. Like, imagine you're doing something really important, like importing a ton of data into a system.
Yeah.
And then after who knows how long, you just get operation completed.
You'd be like, hold on, did all that data go in correctly? Were there any issues?
Totally.
You'd have to go and like manually check everything.
Yes.
To be sure.
Yeah, it was a huge pain point for them.
Okay, so how did you approach this problem? How did you solve it for your client?
All right, so there's this thing called PXLong operation logic.
Yeah.
And it's basically a set of tools that developers can use to handle these long-running operations in software.
Got it. So it's like a way to control what happens during those operations and what messages get displayed to the user.
Exactly. And what I did was combine this PXLong operation logic with specific button actions.
Interesting.
So based on the outcome of the operation, a different message would pop up.
So like tailored messages.
Yeah.
Instead of that one-size-fits-all operation completed.
Right. So for example, if everything went perfectly, the user would get a message that says something like, data successfully imported, or process completed successfully. You know, something clear and reassuring.
Much better already.
Now let's say there were a few minor issues, like some data formatting problems. It's not a critical error, but something they should know about.
Right.
So in that case, the message would be more like, import complete, but some records had formatting errors. Please review the log file for details.
Okay, so it's still telling them the operation is complete, but it's also flagging the issue and telling them where to get more info.
Exactly. And then, of course, if there was a major error, a clear error message would pop up explaining what went wrong.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So basically, instead of just saying operation completed, you're giving users much more context and guidance.
Exactly. The goal is to give them the information they need to take the appropriate next step.
And I'm guessing this made a huge difference for the client's users.
It was a night and day difference. The users were so much happier, they weren't left in the dark anymore. They actually knew what was going on.
That's awesome. It really shows how even these seemingly small tweaks can have a massive impact on user experience.
Yeah, totally. It's all about thinking from the user's perspective and giving them the information they need when they need it.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive. It just goes to show how important clear communication is, even when it comes to software.
Absolutely.
So if you're out there struggling with vague messages in your own software, remember Dipak's story. Sometimes a little creative problem solving can go a long way.
Definitely.
And hey, if you're looking for help with this kind of thing, you know who to call.
That's right. Reach out to Tiana. They've got a whole team of experts like Dipak who can help you improve your user experience and make your software way less frustrating to use.
It really makes you think, how many other little annoyances in software could be solved with a bit of creative thinking?
Probably a ton.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See ya.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Bye.